Hello everybody and welcome to the video. If you're new here, welcome, and if you have watched my videos before, welcome back. This is a long overdue video. I've been wanting to make this for quite a while. It's been on my list, and seeing as I am grounded at the moment waiting to get my van repaired, perfect time to film a video that doesn't actually require me traveling around. What I want to share with you today is how I keep track of everywhere I've been, and also how I can follow a schedule and see what's happening in my month and week while I'm traveling around in my van. So I currently use a bullet journal system. I'm not sure if anyone here has heard of it before. I just do like a basic bullet journal. I'm not doing the real fancy artsy ones. This is just practical for me. And I started it right when I moved into the van. So before I moved into the van, I've used Outlook, which I use for my work, for my business. I do bookkeeping, and I use Outlook to keep me up to date. I have recurring entries of there and when things need to be done. And I also usually put my payments in there as well. So a lot of your payments are recurring. I pay insurance monthly, things like that. But then for the rest of my life, I used to have Post-it notes all over the place of things I had to do, like need to go to the vet for the dog, or need to go get my teeth done, or I need to go grocery shop. I would have Post-it notes everywhere. And when I was going to move into the van, I thought, well, I can't have Post-it notes all over the van. That's not going to work. So I researched and I found this bullet journal system. And I have been using it from just before I moved into the van, and I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's so easy. I just use a little journal. It's small, it's manageable, and I also use it with my Outlook and with my computer. So anyway, let me show you how I keep track of everything and what I do. So first of all, this is my 4th year of doing this. And I'll talk to you first of all about the type of journals that I use. So for the first 3 years, I used these black Rhodia, and they're really good quality. Really liked it. Like you can see, I used this for a whole year, like every day, and it just held up so well. I don't want to show you too much, but yeah, it held up so well, and I just store them here. But these became very hard to find in Australia, very difficult to get. So this year what I did was I tried out a different one. I used an Australian company called Paper Cooker. I'll put a link in the description below. I have no affiliate with them or anything, but they are an Australian company, and that's where I got my journals. So I tried this one this year, but I haven't been very happy with it because the paper is a little bit thin, and you can see through it. So when you write on one page, you can see the marks through the other side. And I find it, because it's only a dot journal, there's no lines, I find it difficult when I'm writing to actually see what line I should be on. So I won't be using this one again, and this one's going to run out probably end of July. Just a heads up, this lasts me 12 to 13 months. It depends how much you do, but they've been averaging around 12 months a journal. So even though it's a bit of an investment, it's probably about $40 for such a good quality journal. It does last me all year. So I've just recently got this one. Actually, I think this arrived this morning, and this is by a company called, I think it's called TomTom. Hang on, Yop Tom. I'll grab out the tag for you. Hang on, I put it in here. Yop and Tom dotted notebook. So I don't know if you can read it. I'll put a link to this in the description if you're interested. So this one is 160 GSM paper, and apologies, I do not know what that is in pounds. It doesn't say in pounds if you're in the US, but 160 GSM. It lies really flat, so quality of things you want to journal, it lies really good flat. It has really good dots in it, so the dots are a bit stronger than in the other one, and it's really nice thick paper, so I won't be able to see through it. So I'm looking forward to starting with this one. Now also, this one has an index and a key. This is made for bullet journaling, and it has an index at the front. But anyway, if you want to learn about bullet journaling, There are a lot of videos on YouTube. I'm not going to teach you how to do bullet journaling. I'm going to show you how I do it and what I use it for. The beauty of getting a blank journal is you can make it your own and you can make it suit you. And what I do from month to month will vary a lot. All right, so earlier today, I set up my calendar for May. So I'm going to show you that here and I'll talk you through it. So what I do is I first of all start with setting up a calendar on the first 2 pages of the month. I actually rule it out and I set up my days of the week. I like my week to start on Sunday, and I do my days of the week and I number all the days for the month. And I've very rarely got this wrong, but you've got to be careful to make sure you count and don't miss up the days. And then what I'll do is I'll go and write in anything like my recurring payments. So I can, on any given day, have a look and see what's going to be coming out of my bank account. I really like to do that. I like to know what's coming out, and then I can check to see, did it come out? Is there enough in that account for that? Things like that. I'll also write things that are recurring for me to do that are important. So one thing is I do a payroll every 2 weeks for one of my clients. So I always write that in there because I need to be aware when I'm scheduling appointments or whenever I'm planning something, if that's a payroll day, it's not a good day to do much. It does take me about an hour in the morning, so I want to be available to do that. I also will put in any other appointments that I have and any other just one-off bills that I have to pay. Anything that I want, I put in that calendar. It's just a calendar. And I do pull my payments out from my Outlook on my computer. So I'll pull up my computer and write down any payments that I have. I also write in the beginning of the journal, I do what's called a future planner. At the beginning of the journal, I have what's called like a future log, and I will have a look, anything that's coming in future months. So like I've got in here, Abby has to go back to the vet on the 5th of June. So I don't have a full June calendar set up yet. I won't be doing that until I get towards the end of May. So I just write it in here. So when I set up June, I'll go back and have a look in here and I will be able to write that appointment in onto my calendar for that month. So that's basically the setup and how I set it up for the month. I also have been using the top right hand corner of that page for monthly things for my bookkeeping. So I have to pay superannuation every month and I have to remit withholding tax to the government, things like that for my clients. I just put a little box in there where I can tick off and know which ones I've done. So that's just a really easy spot for me to put that, but I do have a whole other blank page I'll show you in a minute where I can put anything I want. So on the next page, I set it up called Memories for that month. And this is how I remember what happened. So let's go back to, let's pick a random one. Let's go back to 2021, 2022. And if I open this up, February 2022, and I have a page called February Memories, and I can look and see what I did. So let's have a look. On February the 25th, 2022, I think I was in Tasmania. I think I was in Tasmania. On the move, lunch, gravelly beach, van wash, buy lots of milk, and oh, that's when my YouTube channel had 131 subscribers. This is when I was writing down how many subscribers I had. So in February 2022, I had 131. So yeah, so I just wrote little things in about here, like reading, watching the horses, Abby cuddles, food shop, and water, and that was 92 subscribers. So I'll just write in a little summary of how the day went, and it's really cool. I can look back and I can see where it happened, but there's more detail than that. So that's just like a one-line memory that I do, and I write this every night. I write this, so it's just a routine for me. The last thing I do before I go to bed is I write this, and then I will also finish off the end of the day. I also do have a daily list and daily notes. So I'm going to try and find a page here that I can show you that's not going to give too much information away. So let me have a look. Okay, I found one here, and I'll just give you a quick look of how it looks. I think I can edit out. So this was when I was in New South Wales, and so I've written the date. So what I do is the night before, I'll write it's kind of like a to-do list of things I have to do, and I'll also write any notes that I need. So on this list, it was the 10th of May 2023, and it was a Wednesday. So I had to do bookkeeping, I wanted to do a workout, I wanted to do a post on Patreon, and I bought petrol, and I wrote that in here, and I also bought food. And I made a note, a longer note of what I did that day. Sorted out my art supplies and journals under the bed. Finished negative flowers, came out really good. Going to focus on bookmarks and rocks for... Don't know what that says. Going to focus on bookmarks and rocks. I don't know, for the rest. And then I always write where I camped. I camped Brody's Plains. So I always write every night where I camped. So it's very easy for me to go back and see where I was at any date, any time. So let me have a look. If I go back here, oh, Tasmania is so good. I've got to find one I can pronounce. 1st of May 2023, Camp Willow Tree Recreation Ground. I also wrote on the next day, loving my new morning routine. This is when I started my new morning routine, and I made a video about it. I find it so easy to write first thing in the morning. Need to get my evening routine sorted out. Ideally be in bed by 9 p.m. and asleep by 9:30. Camp Willow Tree Recreation Ground. So this is how I keep track of everything I do, everywhere I go, and everything I spend. Now I am going to make a separate video on my expenses and how I do my budget. But for those of you that want to know how I keep track of it, everything I spend gets written in this journal, and in another video I'll show you what I do with it. But every day I write down every single thing I spend. It's not a secret, there's no great trick to it, you just have to write down everything you spend, and then I'll show you what I do with it and how I keep it in separate categories and how I do my budget and all that kind of thing. So that is how I keep track of my van life and my life in general. And I just have these books. And like I said, I'm just about to finish my 4th one. And look, they don't take up much room, but I'm about to finish up my 4th one. And yeah, I have used these a lot to go back and look for things, especially if I can remember sometimes if I've bought something for the van, or I want to remember where I was, I just go back and look in here. It's so easy. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. That is how I keep track of everything. And I would love to know if anyone else here does bullet journaling. You can do some fancy stuff. So if you search this on YouTube, you'll see some people doing some really, really artistic things. And I did earlier this year start putting some art in here. I was doing a little bit of artwork, and I did a little bit of artwork, and I did get things like some stickers and things and put that in here. And maybe in the other journal, because it's thicker, I may do some artwork, but this is really just a practical thing for me. It's not supposed to be pretty or anything. This is just how I keep track of everything. It's in this book, and I can just grab this book at any time. I can add notes into it that I want to do. So yeah, this is for me, everything is in here. And you know what, I could have done this in a house instead of having a million post-it notes. It's so easy, because at the end of the day, if I didn't do something, I can have a look and say, do I want to do it tomorrow? Do I need to do it? Do I just cross it out? Things like that, so you can work it out. I meant to show you the blank page. So I always have a blank page when I set it up. I'll show you in here for May. So I always have, okay, so there's my May memories, and there's my blank page. So this blank page turns into different things depending on what is going on. Sometimes I will use it to write notes for something I've read and I want to remember. There's something I wrote the other day, which I'm going to make a video on, about the emotional stages of change. And it was really important, so I wrote that down. If I'm going to try some new habits or something, I might make a little habit tracker in there. Every few months I might make a list of YouTube videos that I want to make and keep track of them. All sorts of things. That blank page becomes something different every month depending on what I need it for. I used to always plan it out, but now I just keep it blank, and I tell you what, it gets filled every month. Something always comes up, and it's so good just to have a blank page to put things down. So yeah, all right, that is everything. I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed the video, could you please give it a thumbs up? And it's great to be making videos again. I am still grounded for about another week, and I do hope to make a few more videos for you, and then we'll be back on the road, and there'll definitely be more travel videos. I actually did a brainstorm the other day. We were doing laundry, and I did a brainstorm of 24 videos that I can make for you. So look out for them. All right, love you everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.